Hello, and welcome to the Loose Butthole Review. Today we're reviewing The Lighthouse. So, should should I give my number rating first, or do you want to give yours first?
You go first.
2 out of 5 for me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow, you're the only one. You're the only one.
Well, uh, I can explain
And honest,
why, but uh,
yeah,
you gotta give your rating first.
5 out of 5, and even better this time. I'd give it even higher.
Well, you can't go over 5, so.
Nope, can't. But I would. That's how much I like this film,
All right, but
and I still
which
got the same chills and
I
same fucking for every fucking scene. So great, so great.
I can
But I'll
beg to
let you go.
differ.
Let's get your thing out of the way first,
Okay. All
because
right. All right. All right. Okay.
you're
Okay.
yeah.
Before we even get into it, I didn't like the fact that they didn't do true black and white. That this was definitely a black and white filter. This was not.
It's not that. I wouldn't say it's that simple because the director uses. I mean, he's playing around with the shades and the light. I mean, that it makes a little super sense when at the very last scene. But go on.
I. Hmm, uh, okay. And
I wouldn't say just like a plain black and white filter. I think
and
that's
I know
inaccurate.
and
That's all
and
I'm saying.
the set it they it's too much of the fake dirty. Like, I can tell, like, they tried to simulate filth, but they didn't do it well enough. They literally took new things and just, like, put dirt on it instead of, like, get get actual rustic looking, like, it, nothing looked really rusty or worn down or anything. It just looked kind of old timey. Like, I understand that it was supposed to be that time, but you're on the sea and everything. Like, everything rusts like super fast in that environment. So it just, the whole set just,
Hmm.
it it just seemed like they was going. I'm gonna actually have to get into it now. So there is a little fragment work by a certain author, poet, Edgar
Hmm.
Allan Poe, that was never really titled
And
because he
actually,
never really finished it. No one knows if it was supposed to be a novel or a short story or whatever. It
yeah, because it was a
what he
series of diary entries.
that's what how the book was going to be written. That's not how it was left. It was like it was,
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, but that's how it
But it
was
was still
supposed to be
segmented though.
presented.
Like it was stylized, but it was because
It was supposed to be
there's only
stylized
like
as
it looks
diary
like
entries. Like,
because it
I'm
looks like there's only
presumed
like 3 entries.
that there's three, and there was going to be a fourth. But if you actually get a hold of the actual fragments, they go into detail into it. You can't find it, of course. Like, the Wikipedia doesn't go give it justice, but it was unofficially titled The Lighthouse, and I
Yeah, because
can
there's only like a loose summary I can see on here.
I I saw, it was around the 35-hour mark, and it was really when I saw William Defoe's character writing in his little
Oh, and his log.
lightkeepers, his log. Yeah, that's when I was like,
Hmm.
is this supposed to be like a adaptation of the Lighthouse by Edgar Allan Poe? And the way the movie presents itself in the beginning, it's definitely trying to be more emotional and more thought provoking, and then it just kind of spirals into confusion. Like, the script's so confused with itself. Like, I couldn't really keep up with it at the end. I Were they both, like, was William Defoe's character an actual lighthouse keeper and captain, or was all that like they
Um,
start like at the
okay,
fair at
for
the
we're getting out of the let's
well
go back to
okay
your first
I
problem.
get it I understand, but that's
So
really
I
what it
can
like
yeah.
and that's what it like I can
I
tell
because
that
I
they
have a
were
lot to say about that. That's what I'm gonna go into super into because I have a lot to say about that, and I actually have a lot more insight watching it twice. I feel like to the
and that
story
and
and Starfish conversation too. He pointed out a lot of things that I he just like when he pointed out that it's also an analogy of Prometheus that clicked immediately. I'm like, how the fuck did I not see that? Because I did a fucking report
I could see that.
on that story.
But
You know?
I'm not gonna lie. The second that I made the Edgar Allan Poe connection, I was kind of mad. That kind of took me out of the movie. I was just like, man, they're making Edgar Allan Poe this kind of psychological horror. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I looked up the movie posters, some of it had. I know it's not Lovecraftian, but some of the movie poster has octopus tentacles on the movie poster. So I was like, they're gonna have some Lovecraftian, and that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for some Lovecraftian psychological horror, but I got more of a Edgar Allan Poe monstrosity.
Okay, so let's go into the production of this. This film was not originally started by Robert Eggers. It was by his brother. What's his brother's name? Where are you? Fucking Max Eggers. And he was doing a full on just straight up. He was doing a production for a straight up adaptation of the Lighthouse, of completing the Lighthouse, like doing the full on story
Yeah,
straight
he
up of
yeah
what they interpreted, right? But then they had
yeah
it stalled out and it didn't work out. So they
yeah.
had all
Cause
this.
do you know how fucking impossible it is to predict what Edgar Allan Poe was thinking about? And that's
Yeah, yeah.
like you're
But
talking about
this,
the most fucking thought provoking poet of his time. Like he's literally the reason why we have sci-fi.
mhm. Honestly, I didn't really notice because I'll go into more of why I like the sort of dreaminess of it and of like the weirdness. I mean, of like the weird shadings of with the black and white, why it looks so unnatural, you
I
know?
wouldn't have.
Uh, as you say, like the fake kind of looking thing. Like I don't know the
Yeah.
full thing because it seemed like when the production stalled, they went back to scratch, but had all the set, basically. You know what I mean?
Uh, I feel that some of the script from the original script got kept
Yeah.
in. It's
Some of
definitely
some little nods to it I've noticed too, and because you said you noticed when he I mean there's yeah when he's making Willem's character like go around like a dog,
yeah
because the first thing is about like this guy and his dog named
and it's
Neptune, right?
and yeah and the
And
reason why I made that connection is literally right before that scene they literally make William Defoe's character look like a demonic looking Neptune character. Like they turn him into Neptune. They
yeah,
can't.
he's
That's
yeah,
definitely
or
Neptune.
Poseidon or yeah.
So and
Mm.
the dog's name is Neptune, and I wouldn't have mind that, but I don't. I was just like, are you serious? Like, why you even got to reference it like that? Like, that's just shitting over. You're just shitting on Edgar doing that. Like he that's not his writing style. He would never. Like
Yeah, but
he's
that's what
more.
they purposely like took away from it. I mean,
Yeah,
they wanted
I
to
can
make it a
that, but
known thing.
that's the
There's
problem though.
still some,
They didn't take all of it away. They kept some of it in, trying to, I guess, pay homage to it. Which I
I think
say
I
they
like
should have
paying
just
homage to
scrapped the
like
whole.
than trying to. So
Yeah,
you didn't like any scene.
no, I liked the film. It's just I hate it. I hated that I just connected it to Edgar Allan Poe's The Lighthouse, and it just bummed me out that if it at the whole time I was like, I want I want my Edgar Allan Poe story. This like why? Like why couldn't I like what I want to know the original script. I want to see the original script cuz it couldn't have been that bad. I know Edgar Allan, finishing Edgar, like I would never attempt to even try to finish it, but you couldn't have done that bad.
Hmm.
It's he's about more, thought he's his horror would probably be more isolationist.
Hmm.
Depression. It would be more of a depressing. Like I would want I wanted when it comes to Edgar Allan Poe. I know it's kind of messed up, but I kind of want a depressing feeling, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like,
Hmm.
and I got more Lovecraftian here, and this has nothing to do with Lovecraft whatsoever.
Yeah.
And
I
it and
mean,
and it
neither.
seems like I said that the script just seems so confused and conflicted. Like they did not scrap anything, to be honest, and they just try to rework it into seeming like something different.
I strongly disagree.
I mean, it's quite hard to tell, being the fact that the fragments that we do have is literally just 4 day, three technically three, and a headline for a fourth. So it's hard to say.
And not very descriptive days, apparently.
But I
It
definitely
didn't seem
wanted
like
to.
much happened yet, or like it was just starting to ramp up.
Yeah, that's
And
what I'm saying. Like you
honestly,
couldn't, but
from
knowing
descriptions
Edgar
of
Allan
like what
Poe,
is in this,
but
it has
knowing Edgar Allan
there's
Poe's
very little like
writing
other than some
style,
very small things.
knowing
Hmm.
his writing style, I can definitely tell that it was gonna go more depression. Like he was the dude's loneliness was probably going to make him more depressed and feel
Hmm.
isolated more than he thought he would and stuff like that. But that's just me going on past writings of Edgar Allan Poe and how depressing, like depressionist he was. I like I
Yeah.
people like saying that he was a romanticist, but no, dude. If like his all his work screams depression if you read it,
Hmm.
like by far. And that's what bummed me out about this film.
Hmm. That's sad.
The script being so confusing. Like it has some great scenes. I'm not gonna lie. It's just none of the scenes feel connected to me. I feel like I'm watching a series of random short stories that contain these two
You are gonna
dudes.
hate Twin Peaks if you don't like this, honestly. You're really gonna hate Twin Peaks, honestly.
Why do you say that?
Oh man. You are. You are. You totally are gonna hate Twin Peaks. I could tell. I could totally tell. Because honestly, all right, so that's the Edgar Allan, that's your main thing, right? Edgar Allan Poe connection
The Edgar Allan Poe
is the
connection,
main
the
bother
script,
there that they.
that took a point away. The script being like
Okay,
too
we'll go into the script then. Yeah, let's go into
not
the
too
script.
confusing.
Of
I wouldn't say let this is just me. We'll go into the script, but let me finish the. I wouldn't say confusing. Confusing's not. It seems conflicted with itself, like it doesn't know what it wants to do. And
I think it's
the
conflicted with
set.
itself purposely, and it knows exactly what it's doing.
Maybe I just missed the mark,
Because
but
there's basically almost like three different perspectives going on here, and we only really get to see mainly one, and we're only hinted to some of the other ones because we only really get to see this through Robert Pattinson's character's his point of view. We get his side of the story, basically what he sees, what he's experiencing.
I
Um,
didn't even get. I didn't even. I couldn't even tell what he was experiencing. Like to be honest,
yeah,
Robert Pattis, his acting. I don't. I don't think he's a good actor. Like he's
Oh damn, really? I thought he was wonderful in this. I think they
some.
duoed
I'm not
so
gonna lie.
well.
Some scenes he did nail. I'm not. I won't. But he did not do well through most of this film. For me, at least. For me,
Oh,
sometimes he
gotcha.
seemed flat faced and not emotional at all, and maybe that was the point. Maybe he was supposed to seem, but I just couldn't read him whatsoever through most of the film.
He starts that way. He starts that way, and that's sort of. I mean, he's running away. He's very quiet, and I thought that was totally. I mean, he's got this asshole who's immediately an asshole and annoying and farting and
Yeah, yeah, but
disgusting.
I
But
was
he
kind.
slowly opens up, and then he slowly like
That's
then
the thing. I
goes
was
fucking unhinged.
confused about their relationship. Like, was he his first mate, or what? What was that? Like, I didn't
Hmm?
catch on until like halfway through
He's
that.
a second. He's a he's the assistant. He's the lighthouse assistant. He's the second. They're supposed to they're supposed to be rotating. Like in a normal thing, you'd have two. Or normally, you'd have like two or three people there. Usually, it'd be best to have three.
Yeah,
Though
probably.
there is also what this also takes a little bit of. Uh, I've heard it sort of did like a small, very small inspiration of an actual event of three people who was in a remote lighthouse island that just disappeared. But that's another thing. And
There's
there was
also
signs of a struggle, and yeah.
there's a 2016 film also that's based on that event as well
Mhm.
that we'll probably have
But
to watch now.
their relationship is. I mean, the relationship is it's yeah.
Yeah,
He's supposed to
I
be
just
like
didn't
the
know.
rotating. He's the day shift guy.
And maybe it was because William Defoe's character just kept making up bullshit stories the whole time, but I couldn't tell if William Defoe's character was a captain just staying there or what. I was like, what is going on? Like, is
He
this.
he explained that he retired from the sea life because he it was bum leg, and then he gives two different accounts of how his leg got hurt. One that he
Okay.
broke it, and
Okay, yeah,
one that it got gangrenous.
yeah, I just couldn't. I.
But we're seeing this also.
I
I mean,
just got
like
confused on their relationship
We're
and
following
how.
Robert Pattinson all throughout this. There's rarely a scene of just Willem without Robert Pattinson being there reacting to him, and so that could just be and that's one of the questions it's not answered. It's like was is Willem is either Robert Pattinson's character is like is a bad narrator, and he's and everything that Willem is saying is actually true. Like the when Willem chased him with the axe and then said that he chased him with the axe instead, maybe that actually did happen, you know. And actually, Starfish made a made a actually a pretty good. Uh, Sorry, I'm trying to think of the word. He saw observation. He made
Yeah.
a good observation of a lot of like some of the sexual scenes of like with him masturbating to the mermaid, and also like the scene when he's fighting Willem's character, uh, and he starts seeing the mermaid and is having sex with, and then is seeing the Poseidon character like. Uh, like maybe he's hallucinating all this and he's just getting Willem's character drunk because there is that weird sexual like tension there, and like he possibly could just be getting him drunk and raping him, um like as he's going mad isolated with Willem, this crazy old man character.
That
or
that see.
or Willem is this fucking is like a sea god or something is fucking with him. There's an important scene. Um, it's do you remember the scene when Willem comes out naked and like does some crazy like they freeze and like his eyes glow at Robert Pattinson's eyes?
Yeah, that was Robert Pattinson. Yeah, I just assumed that he was tripping, but That could have been actually
That was
happening.
there's an actual like an old picture that's almost exactly like that. That's definitely taken from. It's called Hypnosis.
Okay.
And it's like an old painting. Look that up.
But
So
yeah, it just see
so then there's that
you just you just
because like with a seagull actively harassing him all throughout, tempting him to kill the seagull so
yeah.
he could bring about bad luck because killing a seabird is the worst thing you could do as a sailor.
Yeah, I know.
And
Yeah.
so it just it could that's like one thing. But so I feel like there's definitely like like three possible or like they're crazy.
See, you just proved my point. This script is way too you just proved my point. It's way I was actually using the right. It's too
Yeah, it's a
confusing. It's
yeah,
just too confusing.
it's up for interpretation.
Ah, I, w- I would like a little bit finality to it, if that makes more like
Ooh.
like I wouldn't
I'm
want definite answers, but I would want like a scene or two, maybe altered a bit to
and then also I mean the Prometheus thing too.
yeah.
I mean that's more of just kind of an outlying theme of I mean the lighthouse being the fire that you know Prometheus steals brings to man and then gets I mean he's literally getting his liver picked.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the ending
but
which was a fucking metal scene. It's metal as fuck.
yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, stupid
No,
fucking
it's fine.
thing.
But it's uh, I just like I said, there needs to be. I don't know what this was really. I don't. I would like to know maybe more finality to William Defoe's character's placement in the world would have
Have you
been
seen The
better.
Witch? Have you seen The Witch?
Are you talking about the Vitch or the Witch?
The Witch,
It's the
but the
Vitch,
Witch.
yes.
It's spelled like that, but it's The Witch. Although
Yeah, I
people only
know.
jokingly call it The Witch. Okay. I was about to say, I'm like, is it?
But
Don't
it's
be a
spelled
Willem.
two
Don't
with two
gaslight
V's.
me
It's two V. It has two V's.
here. You lobster ate shit. But
Yeah, I like that film actually.
oh, you do? Yeah, that was his first film. I was about to say, I almost was about to say you'd probably like that more because it was a little bit more final.
Yeah, yeah, it had
Um,
more finality to a finale to it, and I wouldn't care too much, but I it would have been a better film.
how
I would
many
have liked it.
David Lynch movies have you seen?
I don't know, to be honest. I would have to look up his filmography, but that we'd be getting into other films, and we're supposed to be talking about The
I'm
Lighthouse.
sorry, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm almost about to unplug the whole Twin Peaks thing. Because I don't know if I want to put you through that. Or any of David Lynch's, really. Or any of his original work. I mean, I guess, I don't know, we could probably get a kick out of Dune, but I don't
I
know.
don't know because you it's just
Because there's a lot of David Lynch themes in this.
like I said, this doesn't seem like a connected. It's with my original argument. This doesn't seem like a connected film. It
Okay.
definitely seems like a series of short stories that contain two of the same people. If that makes
I think
sense,
it's supposed
like
to be confused because it's through the perspective of someone going insane. That's why even though there's a clock, uh, a starfish pointed this out too. It's like even though there's like a clock taking the whole time, like almost the whole time in the background. You know, to when he finally like destroys it, like we never really know exactly what time it is or like how long they've been there or something. I think it is perfect to
William
the
Dafoe's
the
character
mental
actually points that
condition.
out. Which
Yeah,
that
exactly. Yeah.
which that's fine. It's just like you said, we don't
Oh,
really
sorry.
know.
Four narratives. He popped one out of nowhere of like the possibility that this could all be in fucking Robert Pattinson's head too, and he could
Yeah,
just
yeah,
be wandering aimlessly after murdering that guy.
exactly. So that makes it less that makes it less finalized. Like even William Defoe's character is making the audience like questioning it even more. Instead of giving
Which
us a
I
straight
find very
answer.
fun, and I think it did purposefully. Yeah, I don't think it'd be fun to have a straight answer because then you'd be like, oh, okay, that's how it went.
I don't I
There's like
think
no conversation behind it. Like that's why I was so late too was because I was having a full on like trying to piece together the things that were happening, and then like through different perspectives of being like, oh shit, there's like this whole other theme that I fucking missed. You know, that's why I super love it. It's like baffling and not like not just the spine tinglingly great fucking scenes that are in this. I mean, so much of just Willem Dafoe, especially his monologue, the hawk, hawk.
yeah, and yeah. William Defoe was great, and that's what kept me interested was his character, and like I said, Robert Pattinson's
Mm.
acting
But
in
also,
this
what kept
didn't
me
hold up
interested
for
of
me.
like what the fuck is happening, and I think it did it well. I think it did it. I think it personally did because I understand what you mean, like of just like not giving a straight answer because you don't know where to bring it to, much like a Lost. Is one I could think of off the top of my head. Lost is a pretty good uh,
Ye yeah,
example of that, but
yeah. This is
I
more
think
of a
this was more
loss.
purposeful. I think it hit it out of the park of what it was trying to do. It was more interesting than say what a Lost did when it's like you didn't exactly say it, but like I guess this is kind of purgatory, but you didn't even say it, so we don't even know.
All right.
Spoilers for Lost.
Okay.
But
So here,
who the fuck
all
cares?
right. So now
I
you
saved
you let
anybody.
me. This is all right. So I can say my main problem is this. It feels like they never had a true narrative or ending to begin with. That they wholeheartedly was leaving that up to the fan. Like if we ask, I feel if we asked the actual writers what was actually going on, they would try to be like, oh, well, what do you think happened and what was going on? How about you give us your answers and then we will try to tell you something based on what you just said instead of,
Yeah, I'm pulling the plug on. I'm pulling the plug on David Lynch, man. I'm pulling the plug on David Lynch because I feel
the,
like out of in between anything that David Lynch has done, other than like Dune, which actually is just
are
from a
you
book
telling
that
me,
has a.
are you telling me David Lynch doesn't,
It's hard to say. I mean, I think
I don't
sometimes,
care
but
that
I
he
actually haven't
ends
seen
it.
enough of his work.
I just want him to have a
Eraserhead is definitely
plan.
up. Okay, yeah.
That's the as long as he has a plan, I will love Twin Peaks. This doesn't seem like there is a plan at all.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like this, like I said, that they just smushed what they could together and hoped we would figure it out for them.
Mm-hmm.
Cause
And I
you
don't
even like
I feel like there's a half truth in there, but I feel like
well
I
there
feel
there
like
kind of is a half truth in there with how they did because it
the
started out
production.
with yeah how the
Yeah.
production did they did just mesh what they was working with together and try to piece something together, but they didn't even know what they was piecing together, and they was just hoping we'd be able to figure it out.
I don't agree. I think it's a perfect example of like a I don't know. I don't think you need to have that to have like an explanation. I feel like I like that there's multiple
I'm not saying an
explanations of how or
explanation. I
what
just
could be
feel
going on.
I wish the script was done differently to the
Yeah.
point where you could you could make more sense of it going on. I don't want to end the film going, well, what what was what? I don't want to end the film on what. That that's just my pet peeve. Like I never want to end a film on what.
Hmm.
Like I understand if you want to be thought provoking and everything, but if I'm just so flabbergasted that all I can get out is what, you kind of
Hmm.
failed because I don't see a narrative to talk about. I have to watch the film again to even
Huh.
piece together a narrative. Like, and even then, the narrative that I piece
You see,
together,
that's
like,
that's
I
why I
might not
like
even
it
be
though. You're
right.
explaining exactly why I love it. And that was exactly what Starfish said of why he loved it too. He's like, I need to watch this again.
Well, see, y'all are going. I loved it and every, but I didn't. I'm not saying I have to watch this again because I loved it and want to figure out. I'm going. The fuck is, what the fuck was that? I gotta watch that again. Like,
Yeah. No,
see,
I know
yeah,
that's how you feel about it. I was just saying that going back and watching it and making more sense because I love that I was catching more things. And then I missed so many things until I had a conversation with Starfish, and then it delved more into that.
I
I
want
don't
to
know.
have mind. I don't mind stuff that
He liked it
like,
better than The
oh, I
Witch.
have to go. Like sometimes I do get that way, but I want when I
He
go
liked it better
back.
than The Witch, and I actually liked it better than The Witch. Honestly.
I like the Vitch way better than this.
Witch, honestly,
It gets like a three
I'd have to
point
watch it
five for
again. I don't know
me.
if The Witch would be either like a would
For
maybe be a 4.5.
for what I remember, it would probably be a 3.5 for me. Cause there's some about it that I don't really remember it too tough. That's why I'm saying 3.5. If it was really rememberable, if I could really remember it, I would say 4, 5. But
Hmm.
since I can remember certain scenes like the goat and the ending, which I'm not going to spoil here,
Hmm.
uh, that then I'd probably be like probably at 2, but 3.5 just before we watch it. But we'd have to watch that, but that's gonna have to wait.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to mention that it's October.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
Well, we
what day
did
this is
now.
going out. Yeah. All right. So you got anything else to go into? Oh,
uh,
what was William Defoe's character fucking the lighthouse? Was he? That's what
uh,
that is what that right there is what that's what I need to know for I need that's what I need final. I don't care about anything else. I need to know if William Defoe was real or if Patterson was fucking like who was someone fucking the lighthouse. Like
or there's some type of something.
there 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 was definitely there was definitely a scene
Or was
with
there nothing?
no
Or was
bullshit
there fucking nothing? Or was there fucking
bullshit.
nothing? And he went up there
Stop,
after
stop,
obsessing for it,
stop,
after
stop,
obsessing about it,
stop.
and then when
They
he
they
looked at it
they they explicitly show William Defoe's character butt ass naked right in front of the fucking lens.
through Robert Patterson's perspective, through his perspective, through him peeping through, you don't even get to see what all is in there. You just see a little bit of naked Willem and then a tentacle go by and it's slime, possible cum dripping down. So it's more implied. But what if he's just what if he hallucinates that and then he finally gets to the top and then it's like what if it's just like nothing and like he believes something to be there but it's like actually him breaking to the fact that he murdered this guy and obsessed about this whole thing and went up there and it was just a fucking lighthouse.
I need to know because I know for a fact William Defoe's character killed his second apparently.
We don't know.
Oh, whatever. He found the fucking head in the lobster thing.
Did he or did he see that? He never brought the head to him.
God damn it.
We've only this is Robert This is a man who let a dude die in a logging thing, took his name, and then ran away to a lighthouse, possibly.
See,
So he may not be
my fucking
he may not be a reliable narrator.
You have all these plot elements, and you're telling me it's up to my interpretation whether they're even important or not.
Yeah.
Why do I have to write their narrative for them, Spooge?
You don't have to.
I obviously do.
It's an art film. It's an art film. It does it perfectly. It doesn't tell you what's going on. It gives you
I get
scenes
that. I get
and
that.
a narrative and great scenes and madness and a great representation of madness.
Is it just one sole dude going alone on his own, or is it some murderous asshole that brought another victim to his lighthouse and got the jump on him?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
could be. Though I feel like the main thing that is implied that I would put my money on is that he did kill the dude, the logging guy, but he did take his name and then he left to go there, and honestly, I think we don't know how Willem's character is actually. He even says himself. No, it's Robert Pattinson even calls him a stereotype. Like a walking
yeah.
stereotype, like a story character. And so like maybe there's even a dude there, but he's not exactly like that. Robert Pattinson just sees him as more obnoxious and annoying than he actually is, just because of being stuck in a storm with him for all this time, to the point when he's losing track of time and and maybe even possibly like what Starfish added, maybe even possibly taking advantage of this man, and so and maybe the logbook was correct that he's actually is not doing things. He's just abusing himself in the shed. He's the one that's getting drunk all the time. He's the one that's slacking. That's honestly, if I put my money on it, and I'd say like I actually feel like that's a good thing. And then there's like other narratives, like almost on different levels of reality.
See, I would have just liked to confirm, like, whether, because there's obviously two people at the lighthouse. That's evidently clear. There's two people. I just want to know who's the lighthouse. I would like to know at the end. It would have been nice to know who the actual lighthouse keeper was, because then we could have pieced together who the killer was. And then we could have then we could have been thinking about like what he was actually doing and going insane, and we could piece together the insanity of it, instead of us even wondering who the actual kill. Like there's us. It's a murder mystery, but there's no killer written into the murder mystery, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
Because I got that at one point the roles switched because Robert Pattinson's character, even though he was supposed to be a new guy, that was very like rugged, like very new to everything and very timid to do anything. He started doing the tasks very well, extremely
Well,
fast. It seemed.
he does explain that not only did he work in timber, but since leaving his dad's place, he did every type of work under the sun. So he was
Yeah,
experienced
but
because he
that
drifted
could.
all around.
Well, I'm trying to say that I'm at one point at there's a certain point in the film where Robert Pattinson characters becomes William Dafoe's character, and William Dafoe's character becomes Robert Pattinson's. I would just like,
One thing to note: they're both named Thomas.
yeah, someone's named Thomas, and I would like to know which one was actually Thomas. That's all I
Thomas
would have cared.
Wake
That's
and Thomas Howard.
They were both named Thomas.
Yeah, Willem was Thomas Wake, and Robert Pattinson's his character's real name because he uses his dead boss's name Ephraim, but it's his real name he admits is Thomas Howard. Willem goes by Tom, and Robert said Tommy.
They needed to make that even clearer because
So there's
they didn't make that clear enough for me because
so that does go into the thing of like Willem
I the
actually
whole
just
time
being
like
Robert.
that like
See,
they that
we
right
just
there
fucking
that
told
right there is
something again
bad
right here.
writing right
That's
there.
fun.
That right there is bad right. I don't know, dude. This whole time I was like, which one's really Thomas? And they're both Thomas. Like
I
now we have to like which Thomas is which now?
I mean, it's possible for yeah. I mean, they introduced it so later, and Willem still refers to him as Ephraim because he, I
Was
mean,
it
he was
Ephraim?
telling,
I
yeah,
thought it
Ephraim.
was a different name.
It was Ephraim. Um, but oh, because he also called him by his last name. I forget what that last name was. Um, but where was they going? Shit. Oh no, but I mean, it's also possible because I mean, you could have two Thomases.
Yeah, it's
But
possible, but
it was definitely purposeful. It's definitely obviously purposeful.
yeah, that I'm just saying they shouldn't have made it so confusing for me. Is all I'm saying. Like I needed
But also, oh
I
shit,
needed some
fucking,
answers.
I just discovered something. Holy shit,
I needed
with that, he took the name Ephraim from his dead boss, and then he's about to kill Willem. Why not take his name?
well, he's dead, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I know. That so was Ephraim. But I mean, maybe that was a like. I'm saying that there's something there too.
I guess, but I'm just saying that there's nothing but questions from this movie, and there's no answers,
Yeah,
and that's just I would like a few
I think
answers.
they left it for a bunch of theories, and I think that's great, and I like dissecting those theories.
Uh, I just feel
I think
that
it
they
did what
did.
an art film was supposed to do: provoke thought
I
and make you
feel that
wonder
you've.
what it's
I
about.
feel
But
they
it's
have fooled you into believing this was a art film and this is just a cash grab because.
it's an A24 movie. It played in select theaters. It's not a cash grab. It was hey,
Eh.
we used all this money for production, but let's make a fun thing out of this. I'll help you out. I mean, I don't know. I don't think we should just I don't know. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all.
Okay,
I think there's a lot more
maybe a
love
cash
and
grab
heart
was
put
a
into this
bad.
film.
Maybe a cash grab. I just feel that they wrote a script and they didn't finish the script, and they was just hoping we would never.
I think they had an unfinished script, and then I think they did an abstract thing with it. Is what I think. I think they made a way more thought provoking thing than someone trying to be a Edgar Allan Poe-ish thing when you can't because he's dead. No one else can be Edgar Allan Poe other than
Right.
Edgar Allan Poe. No one's gonna make that. And I think it was far enough removed. Honestly, I don't even think there's much. I mean, it didn't seem like there's
It
much to
was.
even take
I
from
was
that other
able.
than some.
I I caught on.
Yeah,
Like I caught on real fast.
but I don't think the intention was like, okay, we're gonna. I feel like they were like, we'll keep those themes in there, but it seemed like they just wanted to do their own thing, and I think they did.
I say they try to remove them, but by actually not removing them, if that makes sense. They try to
Yeah,
weave a narrative. They try to weave a new narrative into an unfinished narrative, and they didn't, or they weren't able. They still weren't able to finish said narrative, and so they decided they was going to let the grander audience weave that narrative together and try to figure out what the fuck's going on because it's so damn confusing that they there was a time in the editing room they was like, what the fuck's going on, and they was like, just release it.
yeah, I definitely don't agree with that.
But
Everything
I
was
don't know
obviously
the
purposeful.
I don't think it's purposeful at all. I think it is an accident, but I don't know. I haven't watched much of their what he did. The Vitch, is
That
that
was
the
his
only thing
first
he's done?
film. The Witch is his first film, is his debut film, and this is his second.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
other than like a short film that wasn't theater released, but that's
has
it.
he done anything since?
He's got a Swedish one coming up. I think he is Swedish actually. It's called The
Hard to
Northmen.
say then.
It's called The Northmen, and it's set in. I think it's set in Sweden. Do
Yeah. To be honest, this one might have just been released because he was contractually obligated to be honest. Like, I don't feel any passion from this film.
Get a lot of passion from this film.
I don't feel any passion from this film. I feel that there was some passion in the beginning, and then somewhere during production, the heart just dropped off, and they just had to release it no matter what. So, but that's just my opinion, and that's just how I
Yeah,
feel, and especially with Robert Pattinson's how I feel his acting can be. It just William Defoe, literally the only reason you should watch. I feel anybody should watch this is because he's got some great scenes, and Robert Patterson at the end, the climax is very good. I'm not gonna lie, I loved the climax, but the build up to it is just too confusing. I just have to use that word. It's the only word that I can use because that's what it is.
mm,
It's just too confusing for me to actually care about it. It's like, oh yeah, this is great, but I don't know if any of this stuff is actually going on or if you're just seeing shit and hallucinating and yeah, let's can we speed this up cuz I don't know. And I don't want to piece someone's narrative together for them.
and I think this is a very interesting watch. I think you're gonna get great atmosphere. I think you're. I mean, yeah, you're not gonna get any answers, but I I honestly think the movie's solid all the way through. I mean, the only I can't think of anything wrong with it. Honestly,
I mean,
I can't. I don't have a bad thing to say.
I laughed at most of Robert Pattinson's scenes, especially when
I yeah, I laughed at a bunch too, but it was more of like an uncomfortable one. It's kind of seeing someone break
no,
down.
no, I was laughing at the acting.
Uh,
Yeah, like
I
it
didn't think he
just
was bad at acting this one. I think he was super
okay.
strong.
Oh man, especially I
What
could
scene?
not like maybe I'm just blinded by Twilight, but the
Okay, yeah, I knew that. Yeah,
but
that's why like a lot of people didn't want him in anything was because of the Twilight thing. But honestly, I don't think that. I think that was more of a directing thing.
uh what no the scenes where he's
Everyone sucked in
masturbating to
that.
the I could not the I get what they were trying to do, but the scenes where he's masturbating to the mermaid was just too comical for me. It's like what are you doing, dude? Like especially the last one when he freaks
He's
out and he
alone on
breaks
an
it.
island
Like I didn't see it as him
because
freaking
he
out
thinks
though. I
it's.
just saw it as bad acting. Like I was just like, what? That's
I don't know. I
not
think it was.
like I don't I feel someone going insane masturbating would be doing something completely different than just fucking breaking down. And then was he trying to be screaming, crying at the same time, laughing? I don't know what
I
he was
think
trying.
it
Like
was regretful cum.
I didn't even see that. I didn't even think he got the climax. I like
That's what I got from it. I think
I
he did
did.
climax and it was like a not good. The regretful climax.
I didn't. I got that he just didn't. He just wasn't acting really good. But that's just me. That like I said, William Defoe and the set being as clean as it was, it just
Also, he was insane and drunk. I don't know. It felt natural to me, but
if
that's me.
this if this was filmed on a bit older equipment, maybe give Robert Patterson a little more direction and just
I don't really
finalize.
agree with the older equipment.
Uh,
And I feel like that's like the obvious thing to do.
not.
And then you would be like
All right.
sacrificing
When did this film come
definition.
out?
You'd be
When this
sacrificing a lot
when?
of the things that you could do with the shadings.
All right. You know what?
Uh,
Why I'm using that? When did this film come?
2019.
Exactly. Nobody because they're saying it's cliche because now it's the cliche thing to do. No one's gonna be like, come on now, like that's saying old using old equipment to be artistic is cliche. It is now mainstream. Like you need to you need to go back to the old equipment. Like nobody uses old
But
equipment
then you'd
anymore.
lose all the things he's doing with the shading. I
No, you can no
don't
no
know.
don't even because you can do some really. I'm not saying like extremely old equipment, just older than what they used.
Mm, I don't know. You'd have to show me like an example of what it should look like. Like what are you like what's a
They
movie that like did semi old equipment in black and white
There is none. That's the
well?
problem. I can't give an example because nobody you no one no see that's my point. Like they would have been completely
Mm,
original if they done that. The only person that I think uses older equipment is Quentin Tarantino, and you can't say, or are you gonna tell me? Are you gonna try to fucking tell me that Quentin Tarantino films are bad? that they would be better if they were HD, if he used newer equipment and had your little special shading.
True, but I mean that's Quentin Tarantino's flavor and not Robert Eggers.
I'm just saying it it would have been it would have made the film a lot more original, and it would have gave it a lot crisper look.
Okay.
And
Anything
that's
else?
no, and this is actually a very long. I didn't expect this one to go this long, but
Oh wow, because we actually got to talk and delve deep into it. We didn't just go, well, that happened, that was good, that happened, that was good, and it ended like that. Great, we're done. This bow's wrapped. Time to never see it again.
that's the thing. I don't want to ever watch this again because I'm never gonna know what's going on, because the whole point is to make you confused and thought provoked, because there's not really a narrative going on. But we don't want you to
And I think there's three simultaneous possible narratives, and I think just because they're possible narratives doesn't mean that they're not narratives.
know.
I think it very much ties into
I would
perfectly of
like
what
I
this
would like
film's
it
trying to
if
do.
those three narratives were more. That would have been fine, but I feel that there's a lot more going on than three narratives.
Mm. Or yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean there could be even different ways each narrative could be actually be going to, like
But
sub
yeah, that.
narratives.
But yeah, that's just me. I would like to know. I would like some finalization in this film. Different. The different
Mhm.
actor would have been good,
And I
and that
can't
was.
possibly think of what a good finalization of this would have been, and I don't know if I would have liked it as much if it just had like, and he was the killer, or there's the monster, or
I don't want that kind of finalization. I just want more permanence.
hmm. I mean I feel like either way, Robert Patterson's character dies. I think in any of the narratives, all end with him dying.
Well, yeah. I just
That's definitely one final thing. Whether it be in the snow, hallucinating all this, whether it be on the beach like shown,
in
you
the
know.
snow. What? Whoa, whoa, whoa! What are you talking about in the snow?
uh, like with what the possible narrative that Robert Pattinson is still in the woods in the logging place in Canada and is just wandering around aimlessly, like freezing to death, imagining all this, like Willem Dafoe said.
Ooh, that would explain the horn that he's hearing. You just literally that's probably the narrative, because the logging horn that's constantly like a lighthouse doesn't. I don't remember a lighthouse
Light
having a
horses
fucking.
do have horns. They do
They
have
do.
fog horns.
They do.
Yeah,
They do
it's
have
called a
foghorns.
foghorn.
Do they go off like
You'll hear
that
it in the fog.
constantly though?
Yeah,
Like every 5 minutes?
during a storm they go like every 10 minutes, I think.
But it was going even when they weren't. When there wasn't, like, it was going throughout the whole film.
Yeah,
They do that.
I think it was because it was more of like a psychological thing that's happening. I don't even know if that horns. Yeah, and
It could have
honestly,
been a
that would
logging horn.
push
Is what
more
I'm
to
saying.
your
But
theory. It could have been a logging horn, yeah. But they lighthouses do, so it wouldn't
okay,
not make sense for there to be a horn going off a lot with a lighthouse.
I say it. The frequency in which it was going off in this film was irregular for a
Hmm.
lighthouse.
Which, see, that's why I always kind of steered clear of that narrative because it's like, well, they wouldn't just spell it out like that, but
I think they did.
but like maybe they did, but they did it in such a quick and almost subtle way
I mean
that they got away with it still being a mystery. If that's You see, I don't know.
Yeah, see,
That's what I like. That's what I like, and I like that theory that you just put out there because I didn't actually put that into consideration. I mean, I always took that as like a maybe, but I always saw that as a red herring.
yeah, see, I would just have like, just they, you, one scene, just one scene of him wandering around the snow. Boom.
Mm. Like even if they implied him imagining it, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It
I don't
would.
know. I don't think they. I don't think they needed
That would have
that.
been. That would have been great. That would have been great.
I liked. I liked that it was always on the island so that you
Or
could.
or or have the Prometheus scene be in the snow instead of on the beach. That would have been great.
Or maybe even have it on the beach and then for some reason it's snowing because snow wouldn't happen on a
Oh yeah,
beach. So it'd be like,
yeah. See, yeah. Just see they if they just added a little more finalization to the narrative, and
but
then I would have been.
still,
I would have
I still
loved
think
talking
it's
about how it's just how it can be him just hallucinating the whole time, but now but there's it that we don't know because there's no finalization to any of the narratives that they've implemented into the film.
hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah,
So still
that
two
was
out of five for you,
yeah, still 2 out of 5 for me.
and 5 out of 5 for me.
We'll
Is that
probably
my
come
first five
back.
out of five?
I don't think so. It might be.
Because
No,
I know
your
I don't
first
give
five
them
out of
out
five was Mandy, I
too
think.
lightly. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
think
see,
so.
it's not as strong as one because Mandy, I love Mandy, but it's like it was almost to 4.5 really. Like I almost didn't give it
Yeah,
the 5. I'm still go back and forth, but this is like assured. This is the Lighthouse is like my
gotcha.
first sure thing. Like 5 out of 5. I'd go higher.
I will say, this will be a Mulligan series. We will come back and visit this at a later date and see how I feel about it then. But this is just how I currently feel, and who knows, my feelings and stuff might change in a few couple years. But
No, yeah.
for now, it's definitely a 2 out of 5.
Alrighty. So that was a little heated. I think that was. I mean,
Yeah,
we got a good debate out of
yeah, we did,
that.
we did. I got to do the outro real quick. That was the Loose Butthole reviews for the Lighthouse. Thank you for watching this long. You know the spiel. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video.
Hmm.
Uh, and this will be a bye bye.
Bye bye.